Hey guys, welcome to the first edition of FHNtoday TV for the 2017 and 18 school year.
Coming up on the show, we have a story on potential changes to the school's dress code,
A feature on some of the best ice cream places in St. Louis,
and a look into how mold is affecting teachers and students at FHN.
I'm Trey Dehesa.
And I'm Madi Shinault, and we got all these stories and more coming up on FHNtoday TV. As students came into their classrooms during the first few days of the school year, some were surprised that their new classrooms had been infected with allergenic mold. Taylor Perry and Alyssa Barber give us more information on how teachers and students are adapting to the situation.
Kind of letter. I've had a lot of different types of letters come out of this that students have.
A few days before the beginning of the 2017-18 school year, there was an allergenic mold found in 3 areas of the school.
They had to take off like the front panel of my air handling unit, and when they took off the front panel, I thought that some of the stuff in it looked kind of questionable, and so I asked them to do some further testing on my room. If you see something that looks like mold and it's on an air handling unit, I mean, logically, you would imagine that then that issue could become airborne.
It was kind of surprising that it was like allergenic mold, so it was like affecting people.
The mold was spread in Wilkins' room, Hanrahan's room, and a band practice room. As a result, Hanrahan and Wilkins had to move classrooms temporarily.
It was kind of crazy, to say the least. I mean, you arrive here in the morning and you're like, oh, what do I need to teach just today? It's a lot of logistics from the teacher's end. I think from my students' point of view, probably not much has changed.
We just got so used to the new room because now we've been in 26 for like 2 or 3 weeks now, but we were only in the other room for a couple days.
I teach cooperatively as a structure, cooperative learning, and so I had to move everything back into that structure. There's been some like minor things that have been frustrating, you know, like needing supplies or something.
I could tell that when we switched to the other classroom because of the mold, that it was less homey.
You can tell that she prefers the setup of her old classroom. She's still been a great teacher. She's still taught us everything we need to know.
I definitely feel the difference, like not having windows and not having my decorations and, you know, smaller things that aren't a huge deal to the learning process.
Once the mold was found, everything in the room was cleaned and taken out while they cleaned the air handling unit. On August 27th, the air quality in Wilkins' room was retested and she was able to move back into her old room the next day.
I am glad that I work in a place where they care about people's health and safety, and that was like the first priority, as opposed to like, oh, we're gonna have to spend a lot of money on this.
For many years, FHN has not allowed students to wear hats as part of its dress code, but the rule could possibly be changed. Lafayette High School has already begun to allow hats into its dress code, and Kelsey Decker and Lily Suntimer went down there to check how the policy change was going for them.
It's an age-old battle. You're walking down your school hallway and your principal tells you to take off your hat because it's not part of your dress code. Well, this currently is not a problem this school year for Lafayette High School as they've lifted their hat ban. The Hell District does not have a policy like this in place, but they are exploring one for the future.
It is something that we have talked about and reflected about. We're not there in terms of a rule. It is something that we have at least broached conversationally.
I think in general, it just causes problems. Kids wear them way low on their heads and on their faces. We can't see who they are. We can't identify them. In the classroom, you know, if we're taking a test or something, unfortunately it does add just one more easy way for somebody to cheat.
Community-wise, it's always been expected that you don't wear hats in the building, so when you enter a building, you take a hat off. That's what we are operating on in terms of past cultural norms.
One school who's already had this discussion, which ended in success, is Lafayette High School in St. Louis. They allow hats to be worn during school hours.
Actually allowing hats was being more inclusive than exclusive, and so we've had students that have health issues or certain circumstances that necessitated some dignity for wearing a hat, and so when the rest of the school can't wear a hat and somebody is allowed to wear a hat, it almost perpetuates the idea that something was wrong.
I was on the committee that we discussed introducing it, and I was actually opposed to allowing it. Now that I've seen it in play, it doesn't bother me as much as I thought it would.
Wearing hats has never been a problem in the building for me. I feel like a lot of people think that it's a respect factor, and I don't think wearing a hat or not wearing a hat shows whether you have respect for people or not. I think it's more of an accessory.
As our teachers suspected, they didn't think it was going to be a big deal. They said, let's just try it and see if it's a big deal, and they were right. You know, probably a fourth or an eighth of our students wear a hat.
This is a good fit for us. It seems to work, and we haven't had any problems, but as a rule, I think that we can pretty much safely say that this is going to be fine for our kids.
The allowance of hats isn't the only change that's happened around Lafayette this school year.
I think it really started to build some school spirit. Clubs and activities and sports and music programs, they've bought hats that represent their program, and I absolutely love seeing kids walking around school wearing a golf hat or a band regiment hat.
I actually like wearing hats a lot because if you work out in the morning or just don't have a good hair day, you can just throw on a hat, and sometimes it makes your outfit look 5 times better than it already does because like you can match it with colors and stuff like that.
While hats can't be seen in the halls this year, the anticipation is definitely growing to see a change in that policy next year. Reporting for FHNtoday TV, I'm Kelsey Decker.
I really hope we can wear hats to school in the future. I really think that would help my style.
I mean, whatever makes you feel better, bud.
You know who else looks great in hats? Our varsity football team. Let's go to Liz Wagner, who has the scoop on sports.
Thanks, Trey. Speaking of varsity football, the boys are 2-4 after winning their homecoming game over French's House Central last week. The boys will play Troy Buchanan on September 30th with hopes of getting some momentum to bring them into the end of the season. Boys soccer has continued their success from last year with their core group of 9 seniors leading the way. The boys hold a record of 6-5-1 as of Monday, September 25th, with an important victory over French's House Central, winning the game in penalty kicks. They will face CBC on September 29th, looking to finish what they started last year when the Cadets knocked them out of the semifinals for the state championship. Cross country has many traditions that have led to their success over the years. Pasta House has been a key component for the team over the past 2 seasons, and Lupe Medina and Trey Dehesa talk with the team to find out more about the great tradition.
Mrs. Nor's cross-country team is enjoying a dinner at Pasta House on the night before a meet.
Pasta House, I like the fettuccine alfredo. It's the best.
My favorite thing to eat here is probably the shrimp scampi.
We are here for a team dinner. We always do these before the meets. Every night before a meet, we come out, carb load, eat pasta, and then theory is we'll run faster the next day in the meets. We all kind of came up with it together. Last year, we came all the time. Carbs give you more energy, and then we burn the carbs the next day in the meets, so we'll run faster.
Thanks, Liz. How'd your homecoming weekend go, Maddie?
It went okay. I had a lot of fun, but my friends and I wanted to get ice cream afterwards, but we couldn't find anywhere to go.
Well, did you watch the most recent Nathan reviews? Nathan Williams and Reed Pearson test some of the best ice cream places in the St. Louis area.
Let's check it out.
Today we will be visiting 4 different ice cream places around the St. Charles area and trying their most popular flavors. We're here at Doozle's to try our first ice cream of the day.
The store has been here for about 15 years. We're different in that we have custard and light ice cream, which light is fat-free and tastes just the same. We also have hard ice cream and custard, which a lot of places only have one or the other.
The one that we're going to be trying today is the Penguin, the most popular dish. It has hot fudge, caramel, pecans with a nice little cherry on top. Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too. There's a nice salty, sweet kind of taste to it. It's the caramel and the pecans. They blend together nice. It's really creamy. I usually just get vanilla. I would have never thought to get the Penguin because I don't really like pecans, but the pecans are actually really good with this ice cream. It adds like a crunchy texture, which you think would be weird, but it's actually really good. We're here at Mariah's.
This is frozen custard, so it's more creamier, and it's the only one, so it's original.
The dish that we're going to be trying today is the hot fudge sundae. It's really rich and very, very chocolatey. The cream is really smooth. The fudge is actually kind of hot, which is like a nice hot and cold kind of thing going on. We're here at Kilwin's to try the sea salt caramel.
This is all homemade. If you like it smooth and creamy, this is the place to go.
Salty and very sweet with a little bit of chocolate, so it's a nice blend. It's a little bit more creamier than some of the other places that we went to. Very, very rich. We're here at Cookies and Cream trying the Tiger Tracks.
Primarily family owned. We're owned by the Brewers, who also have 2 other places down just in Cottleville. All of our ice cream is bought locally from Central Dairy, which is part of Central Dairy.
It has some hints of chocolate. There's actually little bits of chocolate in this, which is really nice. Has a little bit of nut too. The look at the ice cream is very cool. It's a nice blend of vanilla and chocolate.
And that's all the stories we have for you this month.
Be sure to follow us on social media and visit FHNtoday.com for more great content.
For FHN Today TV, I'm Trey.
And I'm Maddie.
Stay easy, FHN.
That's a lot this way.
Hey guys, welcome to the first edition of FHN Today TV for the 2017-18 school year.
Coming up on FHN, you were going so fast.
Shalom.
He said,
Bloopers?
he said, got a blast.
Yeah, it wasn't me this time.
You ready? You are so out of frame.
I know, I'm pushing her. Okay. Thanks, Liz. How did your homecoming weekend go last, Maddie?
It's
okay, the pencils of the firm you're gonna make me.
Be sure to follow us on social media.
Be sure to follow us on social media.